Get out and let you do your thing.
I
Yo, Myth. Yo.
Hey.
Right. I am live. Excellent. Y'all hear us well. I should have chat audio pretty good. We're at a pretty decent length here. Oh, here, let me change the name of the game. All right. All good here. And alrighty. I think it is time to get started. Hello, my name is Joash. I will be doing Echoes of Wisdom, any percent restricted, and here with me also is Myth.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get started here.
Oh yeah. Just make sure to open the stream and Discord as well, so I can see.
Oh yeah. Let me do that. Hopefully it won't break or anything. I've had issues with that in the past before, but hopefully this time it will be fine. Alrighty. Is the stream up on Discord?
Give me a sec. Oh yeah. It's coming through your webcam. It's Discord's doing that thing where it's just not loading the video.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Well, here, let me try something else here real quick. I'll just do this. That'll be okay. I think this is what I had to do last time. Does that work?
Yeah, in the scene, on the scene, if you right-click it and then click projection source, it opens up a new window, and then you can capture that.
Wait, with which thing? Sorry.
It's called Open Scene Projector.
Is it on OBS?
You right-click on the scene that you're on and click.
Oh,
and then it's one of
I see.
Right-click. Yeah.
What was it called again? Sorry.
Open Scene Projector, and then it will. You just click New Window.
I'm not seeing it on mine.
Is it not there?
I mean, I haven't updated my OBS in a while, so.
Oh, okay.
So that might actually be why. All right, but
no, don't worry. This will be fine.
All right, cool. Alrighty, well, if you're ready, then we can begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Echoes of Wisdom, any percent restricted. So basically, I guess to get a couple of things out of the way first, obviously you might realize that we are doing a restricted version of any percent and not the actual any percent. And you might be wondering what has warranted the addition of an 80% restricted. So, I guess to answer that as well, I'll have to get in a little bit of what the main glitch is in this game. So the main glitch in this game is wrong warping, which we'll get into more as we actually get to it. But basically, we have an ability to wrong warp to most locations in the game after a certain period, but there is one particular wrong warp that's really difficult to do, and due to the nature of how it works, it's also RNG. It's a wrong warp we can do like way earlier in the intro sections of the game to escape the first area before we're intended to. But the problem with it is again, it's RNG on whether or not it actually works properly. And the other thing as well is that it's also fastest on the 1.0.1 version of the game, while it does work on the 1.0 version of the game, I believe it's like a minute slower or something like that. So what we ended up so what we ended up doing,
people been trying to come up with different strats and stuff for it, but like I guess there's more flexibility in figuring out more improvements on the other versions, but we know it's going to be slower.
Right. Yeah, it's just it's hard to like really determine it. The big thing about it is that we use voiding out, you know, on the overworld as a means to set up the wrong warp. And basically what we're doing with the random wrong warp, as we call it, is we're trying to void out on the ceiling plane. And the problem with that is that they changed the height of it between versions, so that's one of the main reasons why there's a time difference between versions on that. So
version 1.0.1 is not a good version to be the optimum version to play on, as it was only available for a limited period after the game launched, in about a 2-week period, before Nintendo then released an update for 1.0.2. We're running on 1.0.0, which is easy to acquire because all you need is just a game cartridge, and just don't update the game, and you have 1.0.
Yes, this is one of those rare instances where the physical version is actually faster than the digital version. And also, to add on to the fact that we're also playing on 1.0,
Yo, Drunkle.
Yo, Drunkle, with
Thanks
the raid.
for the raid.
Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Y'all are just in time for the Echoes of Wisdom 80% restricted run. But yeah, we're playing on version 1.0, but we're also playing on Switch 2. Fortunately for us, the 1.0 version actually does work on the Switch 2. All you have to do really is just insert the cartridge and just not update the game. So for now, it does work, thankfully. The biggest advantage that Switch 2 gives us is mostly just loading times, rather, and some less lag in some other areas as well. The run itself, as far as strats, is mostly the same. Yeah.
We were all bit, like, messing around with it with our Switch 2, since, like, damn, this saves so much time. It's just on loads, and especially with the wrong warp, it's performed using a menu stacking glitch that causes a lot of lag when you're doing a fast travel from one area to another and maintaining the map stacking. On the Switch 1 there's loads of lag, but on Switch 2 it's so much faster.
Yeah, I remember I looked back at a Switch run like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, wow, I can't believe how laggy it actually was. And I believe when I was doing all dungeons, I think with every first try long warp I got, I more or less golded by 5 to 8 seconds every time. So that, in a category like all dungeons, that really adds up.
Yeah.
For sure. I think in this category, Switch 2 saves like maybe 20, 30 seconds at most, somewhere around there. In all dungeons, it's like 2 minutes or something crazy like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been able to even guess what the time save is with Switch 2 at the moment.
Yeah,
it's also real dependent on like languages, because also like we vaguely know what languages are faster, but like we don't know exactly, and also by how much.
Yeah, I think there's varying speeds on like when the text box closes, if I recall correctly. I remember there being some tests done on that on some of the text boxes in the intro. Which, speaking of language, we are playing on the German version. Most of the languages are around roughly the same time. It's really like seconds difference, so it's not a huge difference for language. But the biggest difference that German does for us compared to most languages is that anytime we activate a waypoint, which is one of the warp points, it is one text box on German instead of 2 on most other languages. That's at least like one obvious time save that text boxes give us. Also, we are in the cutscene gauntlet of the game. So sit back, relax, and pop the popcorn, because we're gonna have a good old movie time.
Yeah, we've not had much talk about the game because we're waiting to start the game.
Yeah, this is kind of unfortunately one of those situations where we don't get to the main bulk of the speed run until later on in the run, but I don't particularly mind this intro too terribly much, though. One other thing I guess I can bring up as well is kind of a side note. You'll see I'm not. Oh, I'm also very high on the the webcam. Hello. You'll also notice I've got both hands here. Watch this.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Look, Mom, no hands. Oh my goodness, look at this. We're going through text boxes, but I'm not doing anything. That's crazy, isn't it? Well, we had a we had a rule discussion about the use of turbo on for this game. And basically, the rules that we have in place for turbo is that we can use it for text boxes only. We cannot use turbo for anything else other than cutscenes and text boxes. Which I feel like I've gotten really used to running the game a lot. Yeah, especially with how long the cutscenes are.
Just mashing for minutes.
Yeah, it is pretty rough, and the cutscenes definitely add up. Especially if you are doing a category like glitchless that has a lot of cutscenes. Like all dungeons in 80% cut out a lot of cutscenes, but something like glitchless especially, yeah, it's good for.
It's approaching 2 hours of cutscene in a 3.5 to 4 hour run.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount. It is also good for bathroom breaks as well. You can be productive, especially during this cutscene. I was doing a couple of practice runs before this, and I pretty much did all my laundry in the span of all these cutscenes between the different runs. Like, you can be very productive during these cutscenes. And usually when I stream attempts of this game, sometimes I'll throw on a Link to the Past Rainbow Seed and just do that while we watch the cutscenes. All I'm saying is that when you're presented with an opportunity like this, you use your time well.
Yeah, I think this here is like a 4 to 5 minute cutscene, like where you basically can just be hands off the controller for that entire time. And that,
pretty much.
That's a decent amount of time for you to do anything.
It's true. It's very true. You need to BRB at the start of a run, just wait until the cutscene. Time efficiency right there.
It's almost like in Twilight Princess low percent, where there's a rupee slide that they do that takes 9 hours. And you can just go to sleep.
Yeah.
You finish the run the next day.
You can get your 8 hours in, except not anymore because they have a new thing.
Because like yesterday.
The last time we'll be able to make that reference. Yep. Oh man! Speaking of Twilight Princess, though, this scene is kind of reminiscent of Twilight Princess, where you're in the jail cell, you get to move around a bit before your new companion comes to rescue you. Yeah, rip Poe Gate Skip. Yeah, this is Try. Try will be very useful in this run, as are all the echoes, as one would expect. Of course, but you'll get to see some interesting uses of how we use echoes and use Try in general. Yo, thank you for the good luck. All right, so here we grab our Try Rod. So, fun fact: in a low echoes run, the table is the only thing you need, technically, to beat the game. Now, we will be getting more echoes than just the table, But if you're doing a low percent run, speaking of low percent, only need the table. Alright. Who's ready to avoid the guards? We gotta get to our next cutscene. Know what I mean?
Yeah, luckily in this game it's not that the guards don't freeze you in place the moment they see you. They actually kind of have to catch you, so we can exploit that quite a lot.
And fortunately, those two just aren't paying attention. Now this one is the scarier one here. There we go.
Yeah, nice.
I was failing that a bit earlier today, so I'm glad I got that cleaned up before. That's one mistake I'm not particularly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice example of like using like some of the the movement tech that we have, where like we start charging up, you placing a an echo and then jump and then release, and it normally when we place down an echo, there's a little bit of lag when we stand still and don't move for a little bit. But like if we're doing it mid-air, we maintain our momentum and keep moving. So it's little optimizations like that allow us to do things like that consistently. And also understanding that when you place an echo, it kind of snaps to the grid, so you're watching the tiles as you're running through there as so you're timing your jump exactly with a visual cue on the ground.
And to kind of go along with what Miss said, this game kind of has an invisible grid. It's like different squares as you. It's different squares that lay out each I guess graphic or plane, and all the echoes are going to snap to this grid, or at least all the object echoes are going to snap to that grid.
Yeah.
So. You have to actually keep this grid in mind, or at least know where the quote-unquote squares are, because you have to position yourself in such a way to where you're not gonna just jump into the object or whatever you're spawning and then not actually make it on top of it. So it actually is important where you spawn it when you jump on it, which is why that last one is particularly scary sometimes. Right, now we can spin. We love spinning in this game.
Yeah, we get ever so slight of a speed boost when we're spinning, so we want to spin all the time. We only spin when in contact with the ground though, so we want to spin and then jump, and we get a little bit of an extra boost for our jump. And you can clear some of those jumps quite precisely by doing these spin jumps. And we got beds. Beds are a great echo there. There's a lot of tech that we're going to use beds for.
Yeah, this is probably the best echo in the game, at least for the speedruns. If it's not the best, yeah. It's definitely very high up there. Because it is very useful. Like when you go and watch the low percent runs. You can definitely feel the bed's absence, because the bed it's just very versatile, and the fact that it's 2x1 makes a huge difference that you can't really see unless you see them face to face, compared to the stool, for example.
Tables are very similar to beds, but they're just not quite as good. We can do some of the stuff that we do with beds with tables, but it's just so much slower because you're having to a lot of the time you're pushing a table by half a tile to offset it, and then you can place another table on top of it and still use it to climb up stairs. Whereas with a bed, you don't need to push it at all. You can just jump a place and just build stairs up like that.
Yeah, I guess you can argue that with the tables, you are being a bit more creative with how you navigate them, but there's still some. I still think there's some pretty cool ways you can use beds. Alright, we get to come up to our first enemy of the game now. And it's very cool what we do to this enemy. Took lots of thinking to do this strat. Our strat is basically run away. Jump there. And despite being on Switch 2, there is still a little bit of lag in this area. I thought I got the rock for a second. I actually couldn't remember if I could get in there with that rock there. Yeah, this urchin that I just got, this is one of those echoes where we're really only going to use it once. And maybe a second time if I end up failing one particular thing later on. Good example of bed usage. We're gonna get these 50 rupees here. We need to spend a little bit of money, so we're gonna get a lot of money so that we can then spend a little bit of money. That's really just the most convenient place in this run to get this money. But it's very fortunate.
There's
that's just there.
Possibility of like, we only need 10 rupees, and that's a 50, so like we don't necessarily need that. We could, you know, pick up 2 blue rupees for RNG, but that's really luck based, so that's the most consistent way of getting the money we need.
Yeah, and really, at least in my experience, I don't really see 5s all that often. Now, granted, I don't always cut the grass, so that probably also takes down a bit of the time that, it takes down a bit the amount of blue rupees that you would see. Although, funny enough, I did pick up a blue rupee in my PvE, so.
Yeah, if you get a blue rupee in... I remember watching that. If you get a blue rupee in that first ever section of grass that you go through before we've even left the castle, I would just YOLO it and not go for that chest and see if we can... All you need is, like, enough green rupees. You need 5 green rupees throughout the rest of it, and I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're gonna do anything, like, if you're not gonna look for a second blue rupee, which is definitely fair, like, looking for enough green rupees I think would actually be fairly reasonable. I can at least think of a few places where rupees are highly likely to drop, and you probably could get all the way up to 5. Probably would be pretty reasonable. It would depend on how much time it would save when we're getting to the chest, because that chest is very convenient. But, I mean, who knows? I guess, like you said, though, if you end up getting that blue rupee just out of pure luck, you might as well just go for it, because you could possibly just save a tiny bit of time.
Yeah, we got a good example coming up here of, like, the power of beds. So, in this stilled realm, we're supposed to go in a cave, and going through the cave is slow, so we're just going to skip it by jumping, building our way directly to the dungeon entrance. So in the earlier cutscenes that we watched, this guy's wife fell into the void, and she's there, and now we're gonna use her as a platform to build a staircase up to the upper area from here. And this is called Wife Jump.
Amazing name. Thank you, wife. We love Wife Jump.
Yeah, and now we're right by the dungeon entrance. There, this is the divergence point between the restricted and the unrestricted any percent categories. It's pretty much identical up to this point. Because any percent unrestricted gets bind here in this first room and then leaves to go and skip the dungeon. But in restricted, we're going to do the entire dungeon.
Yeah, I think it's right here specifically that it diverges. Because you do need the bind ability for the random wrong work.
You technically don't, but it's very slow, so I would advise doing it. I have done it.
Oh no. Oh, that shows you how much I know about regular any percent.
Yeah. Oh, I did it because of the dungeon IL, because the IL rules are you can get anything before entering the dungeon. So I went and got level 3 with outpost.
Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Yeah, I do remember actually looking at the level ILs and seeing Southern Ruins being like 5 minutes or something. I was like, how is that possible? And then I was like, oh yeah, right and wrong.
Yeah, no, we do crazy strats here. We don't ride up this elevator. We do like Gustmaster Gust Giro strats, and like there's just so much you do that makes this completely different.
Yeah, that's insane. But in the absence of Gustmaster, we do get to stack some beds in order to save a little bit of time on the elevator.
And spiders. The spider is a great echo to be using in this run. Like it gets a lot of utility. It gives us vertical height, but also there's a nice utility to it in the final boss as well, where it's basically just invulnerable to damage, so we can use it as a distraction for all of the enemies and stuff during the final fight, so we can focus on the boss easier.
Yeah, Spider gets to be the underdog a bit there at the end. Yeah, I remember when I was playing the game casually, I just remember thinking, yeah, this spider is gonna be broken. So sometimes not all for the reasons I thought. Alright, so we don't have many weapons at our disposal, but we do have our good buddy the Ignizol, or as some like to call him, the Igni Chad. Because we love the Igni Chad, and he is a Chad.
Yeah, it's the only echo in the game that does more damage than its like the enemy variant does. Every echo is like identical in terms of stats with the enemy that you would find in the world, except for Ignizol. It does double damage, so we use it because it's just so strong. And yeah, you saw with the Link fight just there, Ignizol just owns Link.
It's pretty nuts. Also, I did not know that about the Ignizol being stronger than its actual variant, so even I learned something today. Your fun fact of the night. Now we get the sword, which is really helpful especially in the end game, which is something that regular 80% lacks. But this does make a lot of things in the end game a lot easier too.
Yeah, there's a few benefits in sword form. Obviously, having a sword, so being able to like do damage and break things, like is instead of having to rely on echoes, is a big speed boost. So we need to and the downside of being in sword form is that you've only got limited amount of time, so we have to really min-max exactly where we want to be using the sword form to maximize its usefulness and how much time we can save. And also, when you're in sword form, you jump a little bit higher, but it's not really a thing that we use that much in any percent.
Yeah. Yeah, with it having a meter, it's definitely a case where you want to use it when it's suited best. Also, normally you can, if you jump as you pull those Dekubabas, or I guess Babas, you can avoid getting tripped up there. Unfortunately, I did time my jumps a bit poorly there, so I didn't get to show that off, but in any case...
Yeah, it's a pretty tight window, and it can be hard to go for sometimes because like you jump just before it's pulled, and then like you have to wait to land to pull more of it. Yeah, so this is a really tricky part of the dungeon coming up here. We got some tight jumps, and we've got we got Stratty McStratface here. This is just like a really cool room, and I think it's pretty like visually self-explanatory.
There we go.
Nice.
Happy I got that too.
Yeah.
That's always very satisfying
Yeah,
to get
that's a
first
huge
try.
time save.
Yeah, falling there costs you a lot of time. I have reset a number of times to that room alone. I would definitely say it's the hardest room in Southern Ruins. I'm usually quite relieved to get past that room. Does now mean that we are about to finish Southern Ruins.
Yeah, beds are so useful. Like we've been using them as weapons and as like objects to stack on, but and we also use them to just solve the puzzle. Like they're that useful. But yeah, we got the Stone Palace here. This is a pretty standard 3-cycle boss fight. That is a pretty tight spin attack that was done there. Very nice on the middle cycle. That was critical on that middle cycle. And now here on the 3rd cycle, we're hoping to get good RNG. Get good RNG with the slam there. It can do a spin attack instead, which is just bad RNG, but yeah, that is a nice clean Stone Palace.
Yeah, I'm happy about that fight. So, I will say I'm tempted here. I've been doing all my practice runs with 3 hearts, and for the most part, other than the Scorchill attack, occasionally doing something goofy, it's been going well. So I am tempted for for the marathon run to skip this hard. What are we thinking? Because really, the extra heart container mostly only benefits on the insta-kill attacks, which is I can only think of like 2 for the class.
Yeah, it's getting hit by the boss, by Nulbury. I guess also, like, it depends on if any mistakes happen in like Lionel skip or in the room after the softlock skip. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You can take damage in those rooms, but
yeah, but I feel like if you fail those rooms, there is a certain point where you fail some of those rooms and you kind of just have to reset them anyways.
Yeah.
Especially if you get the Lionel. I mean, I guess you could probably just Ignizel it to death, but that still would take a while. Like,
yeah.
I think on my last practice run, I can't remember exactly what happened, but like I mistimed the blobs and I ended up spawning all 3 of them, and I ended up just resetting the room, and it ended up being better that way. Oh well, let's see what happens.
Oh, Weeble.
Here we go. Alright, so this is where the run really picks up. So we're going to do a special trick here.
Piece of heart marathon?
That's true. That's
it's
true.
A container, but
it is a container, but we'll instead just say peace to the heart and move on.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got an interesting trick coming up here. We've got kind of the floor is lava situation here, so we can use the beds and to keep our spawn point on one particular spot, because when you're standing on the beds, your spawn point is always going to stay on the ground that you last stood on. So we're actually going to take advantage of this to escape left's radius, left being this individual right here. Because right here we're stuck in an escort section, but we can escape that by clever use of respawning. So we're gonna use our beds here. Box here. We're gonna stand in a particular spot there that'll actually board us out and bring us outside of the escort. So now we can escape, and the biggest advantage of doing this is that we skip a long cutscene of talking to I forget what his name is now. It's been so long since I've seen him.
Luberry. This is Luberry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Luberry skip. It is late. My brain is wearing out, but in any case. So yeah, we skip a whole long cutscene with Luberry. This has even more implications in categories like all dungeons. I guess we could have maybe gone for it. Who knows? Oh, yeah, another one for the memes. Oh. Yeah, I guess you have a lot of grass here that you could get in a pinch as well. Now that I'm actually looking for grass, I guess there is a lot you could choose from. Even like at this very last part here.
But yeah, as part of doing the Lubri skip, we're unable to fast travel during it, and like we broke out of bounds of the thing, but we were still in the state of you can't fast travel, and if we go into the Acorn minigame and then leave it, it resets that, and we're able to fast travel now. And that's very important because the glitch we're about to do here, wrong warping, involves fast traveling.
It involves warping. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so we're gonna get to the void out region of the forest here, and we're going to activate sword form and then open the menu at the same like in a really precise timing, and they got it there. And that respawns Zelda and gives you back control whilst also opening a menu at the same time, and we can stack menus at the same time. So we've got the menu of the echoes in the foreground right now, and the game is playable in the background, and we've fast traveled to the dungeon entrance again, and we're going to go into the dungeon. Going inside the dungeon lets us open up a map and be able to switch map screens. That's really important for setting up the trick here. What we're going to do is we're going to select mouse cursor over the warp we want to go to, do a map screen transition to the dungeon map, and then press confirm, and it uses the ID value of the overworld warp location, but instead of looking up in the overworld's warp table of warp points, it looks at the dungeon table, and that happens to be associated to the final dungeon, and we just wrong warp directly to the final dungeon.
And there you go. Just like that, we're here at the end. And that's basically what we do in all dungeons, although we use a sign in all dungeons because it's more consistent. But
we get a load of the warp points, and we use them each time to go to the end of each dungeon and just kind of like boss rush the game. This is a room where like we use the sword here to kill these blobs. The blobs activate and turn into enemies when they actually impact Zelda, and our sword does a lot of damage. We can kill them in 3 sword slashes or like a slash and then a spin. But there's a nice strat here where there's a spot we can stand here. This blob here is a Lionel, and there's a nice spot there where it's just circling around Zelda, and yeah, like if it spawns into a Lionel, the Lionel's insane. It's so powerful, it will just kill us. We are not prepared at this point to be able to do it. This is supposed to be the end of the game, and we're just super early.
I was barely prepared in my casual playthrough for it.
And then, so we are in a bugged state of the game at the moment, and there's a couple of things going wrong. There was a frame perfect trick. That's softlock skip. When we entered this dungeon, we didn't enter the regular way. You're supposed to not have sword form right now, but we do. And also, Link was supposed to be in that room, and he wasn't. And Link not being in that room means that when a cutscene plays, it waits for Link to move into position, but that Link wasn't there to be able to do that, so it causes a soft lock. But luckily, when we hit that switch and do that frame perfect trick of save it, like pausing the frame that like you hit the switch and then saving and then reloading, the door opens and we were able to leave and continue. This room is really tricky. Like there's a double fight going on. Link is on the left hand side of the room dealing with his enemies, but then we've also got really tough enemies here. This flower has basically the highest health of any enemy in the game. It's rivaling bosses in terms of how much health it has. And yeah, the Wolfos and the Tectai are really nimble and tricky. They just jump around all over the place. So
Wolfos is not having it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had him there. Okay, I need to hold shield here. He's jumping like right as I let go of shield.
Yeah, one of the other really great things about the Ignazol is that it sets things on fire, and fire is quite a decent amount of damage in this game. It does the damage over time very quickly. But yeah, that's the double fight dealt with, and we would normally go through the rest of the dungeon and go through like a 2D section or whatever, but because again of the bugged state of the dungeon that we're in, there's supposed to be a barrier there stopping us from going this way, but it's not there, so we just come here and we've skipped all of the second half of like the dungeon, and we just go on Link's side of this. We're supposed to rejoin on the left-hand side of this room and help Link through this section. It's so weird how this dungeon happens in the non-glitchless speedruns.
Yeah, it's very oddly specific, like what changes here and what doesn't. Like there's rooms where Link is just not there, and then there's rooms where he is there, and it's really interesting seeing just what particular things change when you are in this glitch state. Another thing about this glitch state is, as you've probably already seen, we have been able to be in sword fighter form, which we're normally not supposed to be in because we give Link the sword at this point in the game. But since we warped in here, we can still use it, and we can also still save the game, which we also normally can't do in here, which can be really useful in this fight. Because if we get an autosave, or we just do a hard save on the last phase of this game, we can actually just keep spawning on the last phase of the game, which is really nice if we do die on the third phase. And it also is just nice in general for practice. These were a very convenient spot to practice the harder bits of the fight.
Yeah, so this is Null 1. Null 1 is similar to Null 3, but very, very simple. It's just got 3 arms that we just pull to get Link to do his spinny and kill them in one hit. It's also pretty much entirely scripted. If we do the same actions exactly the same time, everything's gonna happen exactly the same way. So yeah, it's just nicely choreographed, and you just get used to how this fight goes. It's a 3-cycle fight, so that's the end of cycle 2, and then we've got another one of these cycles. It's gonna put hand inside the blue. Yeah, most of the challenge of this is not actually the boss, but it's more so like both Link's AI behaving itself and going to the things that we wanted to do, and also the lock-on, whenever we're trying to lock on to the thing that we want.
Yeah, the locking system
something else.
Yeah, the targeting system in this game is very, very goofy. To give you a good example, which you might even see a good example of it in this fight, but a good example I always think of, like right off the bat, is I could target a box from like half a mile away behind me while my nose is touching the sign in front of me. So instead of, targeting the thing that's right in front of you, it'll instead target the thing that's behind you. It's very goofy. Very, very goofy. And also, you might have noticed a couple of spots there where I actually used Bind to drag Link to where I wanted to go. Link basically just does what he wants, for better or worse. And so we kind of have to babysit him, unfortunately. And in Phase 3, we just kind of have to hope he behaves.
Yeah, this is Phase 2 right now, and it's entirely an auto-scroller. The boss reduces to 1 HP at a specific point towards the end here, and all we do is, like right here, we're just going to activate Sword Form and hit it once and it dies. You don't need to do anything, any damage up to that point. And also, on Switch 2, that is so fast. It's like 10 seconds faster than on Switch 1 because of lag.
I couldn't believe how smooth it was when I started on Switch 2. I was like, this feels wrong to see this scene be so smooth.
So this is Null 3, and the trick to this boss is it has two different hands. It has claw hands, and then it has hands that are holding onto tries, and the hands that are holding onto tries spawn the bosses. It just like with phase 1, it's going to be a 3-cycle fight. So this was like the first cycle of it, and now it's hidden away. We have to pull the hands out of the walls, but it's a lot tougher. We got Dark Nuts running around all over the place. That was great. That was fantastic phase 1.
That was best case scenario.
Really good. Yeah, they can really mess you up. But we're
nice.
completely focused on the hands that spawn the bosses. We want to take them out as quickly as possible, because once you've taken them out, it will stop spawning bosses. All of these boss waves that happen, they will insta-kill. So it is important to make sure that they never get hit. And then, once all the try hands are dead, now we can just pull the claws. We have as much time as we want for Link to behave themselves and actually hit it. And now we're on to phase 2. This one's really hectic. This one spawns Lizalfos that jump around very quickly, and they don't insta-kill Zelda, but they do a lot of damage. And luckily, we got our Spider Bros coming in clutch, acting as distraction, keeping the anger of the enemy. Also, there was a shadow on the floor. If that grabs you, you're just stuck. You get grabbed and stuck in jail for like a whole minute. It's a huge time loss.
Yeah, I'd have to spam. I'd have to spam urchins for like you said, a full minute. It's not ideal.
This is an excellent null 3 so far. Like it's just one last arm to pull.
Yeah, this is
and that was minimum boss cycles.
Yeah, that I'm very happy about that. Oh, we got the slash, the super slash.
Nice.
Yeah,
Link played super well there. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that fight. Awesome stuff. I was gonna say time is coming up, but I actually have control of time here.
Yeah, you do. This is a really sick time for a marathon run.
Yeah, I'm very happy. This might actually be my best marathon time for this category. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. Yeah, that's a 53. Nice.
44s.
Yo, let's go, dude. Awesome. What kind of null was that? That was a 606 null. So yeah, very, very happy about that.
That is crazy. Wait, is that like the... I think your world record has a
my world record has a 601. It's a 601 null. Yeah. Almost sub 6.
Yeah, no one's been approaching times anywhere close to that before Switch 2.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like
Switch 2 coming in clutch on that one. But yeah, that is Echoes of Wisdom, any percent restricted. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. Other than the little hiccup with the, that one room, which I feel like it's pretty understandable with that room. That room is quite tough. The Wolfos had it out for me. I don't blame them. Yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy with how this run went. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. And if you're interested in running the game, definitely do join the Echoes of Wisdom Discord as well. We have a number of runners that would be very willing to help. It is a fun speed game. I highly recommend it. We've had some good times running this game. Myth, you have anything else to shout out here?
If you want to see more Echoes of Wisdom, later on in the marathon, you'll get to see me running all dungeons.
Yes,
we'll be doing very, very similar stuff to this, but we'll go and we'll do all the dungeons.
Yeah, honestly, consider this a preview for all dungeons. All dungeons is my favorite category in this game, by far. This category is fun, but all dungeons is I'm a big fan of it. So if you like this run, definitely go check out Myth's run of all dungeons. All dungeons will have a lot of really cool stuff. You'll see a lot of the same same strats here, but you'll get to see more of them, and even some other special stuff. And you also get to see some really goofy ways that the game kind of handles certain things when you do things in weird sequences. It is definitely a run you do not want to miss, and I believe this run is on Thursday at 4 p.m. time. I could be very wrong about that. I'd have to double check the schedule. I know it's on Thursday though, so I believe it's right before my Wind Waker HD random run.
It is.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, we will be back for that on Thursday. But yeah, definitely check out the All Dungeons run. And also, yeah, just again, shout outs to all the Echoes of Wisdom runners, Myth, Glovers, who else we have? TGH, Glan. Yeah, shout outs to all the Echoes of Wisdom people.
And coming up next, we have we've got Ashton and Blake doing Twilight Princess.
Ooh,
which Twilight Princess, yeah, we've mentioned it a little bit earlier with Twilight Princess has got a new glitch. Like the first time in 12 years that something huge like this has happened for Twilight Princess.
You know what?
They won't be
Twilight
showing
Princess.
it off in the race, I don't believe. I think they're playing HD, which is not possible.
Oh yeah,
but
HD is still a cool run too, though.
Yes, yeah. I think I heard Gymnast is trying to make a viable setup for HD, so that
that'd be cool
to do it as well.
That would be cool.
But I just had a look. Anarakis is running TP low percent right now, and they are in the Ganon fight. And,
oh wow!
They are 9.5 hours ahead of world record. So yeah,
Wow.
low percent has just been cut in half. No, even more. It's going down from 14 hours down to 4.5 hours.
Yeah, who would have thought we'd have made it to the time that Twilight Princess low percent became an actual like legitimate category that you can do in one sitting. Well, I mean, I guess you do have the like hour and a half long groupie sliding near the beginning, I think. But as far as going to bed for 9 hours or whatever, yeah, it's the normal length now. Crazy. That is some crazy stuff. But yeah, definitely stick around for Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is a very challenging run, and it has a lot of very cool tricks. It's definitely something you will not want to miss. It is. Are they doing 80%? Oh, or it's a race. TV run is just about over. A couple more minutes. Let me also pull it up here on my phone. Also, this scene right here, this scene has a cooler fun fact on all dungeons.
The echo. Yeah. Is it all dungeons, or I thought it was in any percent as well that this bugs out, or is it?
It's not. It's just all dungeons. I think it's a post Hyrule thing. Well, I think it's when you I'm trying to think of what it could be. It's like a post Hyrule, but then when you restore it back with Desert Palace, it brings back
it might be
the rift.
Yeah, it might be to do with all of this, the like the story flag stuff that we do to avoid cutscenes. Like it's probably associated with that.
Right, yeah. Now, I will say, there is one little funny thing. If you look at Captain Wright, or whatever his name is,
oh yeah,
he's floating. My man just said no to the stairs and was like, I'm gonna do this my way.
Yeah.
So that's our little tidbit there.
Hey.
GG.
Thank you,
Welcome
thank you. Welcome, welcome. So who
Are you all set up and ready for your TP race?
We are ready.
y'all ready? Alrighty. Well then I will, if y'all are ready to start your stream, I will go ahead and end mine here. Again, I've been Joash and Myth. Thank you guys for hanging out for the Echoes of Wisdom run, and I hope you guys enjoy some Twilight Princess. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good night. Stick around and enjoy the rest of the marathon. We will see y'all later. I think I will be back tomorrow commentating for the Link to the Past multi randomizer as well. So I will see you guys then. So until then, enjoy the Twilight Princess run. Have a good night, everyone.